והיא שעמדה לאבותינו, והיא שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to be here together with you as the week comes to an end. And this Friday evening, when the sun goes down, we welcome not only Shabbat, but we welcome Yantiv, the final 2 days of Pesach, of Passover. We began our celebration of Pesach a few days ago on last Saturday night, and we celebrated together at the Seders. And the last few days have been called Chol HaMoed, the intermediate days of the holiday, still festive days, but without some of the restrictions and the long prayer services that mark Yantiv days. The next 2 days, we focus on the next part of the Exodus story, the splitting of the sea and the final freedom of the Jewish people from the Egyptian slavery. So tonight, when we welcome in our sacred time, we recite a blessing not only over Shabbat, but also over Yom Tov candles that these flames are in honor of. So I invite you to please rise as we join together in the candle lighting blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat v'yom tov.
Amen. Good Shabbos and good Yantiv.
Good Shabbos, good
May be seated. Services are slightly different tonight because of the Yantiv. Some of the melodies are different, and we leave off some of the opening Shabbat prayers. The idea that we've spent a lot of time at prayer already this week, and we're already rearing to go and ready to go. So let's turn to page 27 in the Sidurim, and we open a song for the day of Shabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat.
Yai la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, le'agid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha ba'balilot, alei asor va'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Tzadik atamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizke, shetulim beveit Adonai bechasrot Eloheinu yafrihu, onirmu b'tzevad shenim v'nananim yehiyu, lehagi ki ashar Adonai צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
אדוני מקיף לבש, אדוני עשית זר, צבני והבלטימות. מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משברים, אדיר במרום, אדוני, עדותיך נמנים אל ביתך נאווה קודש, אדוני, לאורך ימים.
So I'm going to share my Dvar Torah, my Dvar Tefillah, my word about the prayer service a little bit earlier tonight. So I wanted to share a beautiful reflection about the priestly blessing, the Yivarechecha, which we're going to say in a moment. We join together and share those words of bracha, those words of blessing. And we talk a lot about prayer in the synagogue. We are a synagogue. That's what we do in this room. But it's beautiful to see, when you have the opportunity to see the way prayers impact people, the way it affects them in their lives outside of the room, the strength that prayers give them, the feelings of connection that prayers give them. So I was so moved this week to read the reflections on this prayer from Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. As we know, one of the more prominent Jewish politicians in the country, a man who expresses his Jewish identity very publicly. Well, this week, as we know, on the first night of Passover, his house was firebombed in an attempt by someone who went after him because he was Jewish and because he supported Israel. And thankfully, he and his family survived and were not hurt. But he commented the following day when he went to visit the firefighters who had responded to the blaze, who had helped him and served them lunch. And he talked about all the people who had reached out, and he talked about the effect of prayer, at least the prayers that he heard and the prayers that people had sent him. He commented together with his wife, "Those prayers have lifted our spirits." He said, "I know you're going to think this sounds strange, but you can feel the warm wishes and the prayers that people are sending our way. You just feel it. I don't know how else to describe it." He continued, "Obviously, I'm a person of faith. I believe in God, but the prayers we've received from our Muslim brothers and sisters, our Christian brothers and sisters, our Jewish brothers and sisters from everywhere," he said. "Those prayers are lifting us up, and it feels like it's wrapped around us and protecting us during this time." But while he was visiting the firefighters, the firefighter chaplain handed him a piece of paper with one particular prayer on it. And he looked at it, and you could see in the video that it brought him to tears. It stuck out at him. It was the priestly blessing. And it made an impact on him, one, because it came from a Christian clergy person, but it was a prayer that he was intimately familiar with. And he read it to the people using the King James translation. "The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace." Should we bring these back in our translations? It's good, but he was moved by it because every Friday night in that home that was attacked, he would share that blessing with his children. And he said about this, that's a prayer and a hope that we have for our kids every day, that they have shalom, that they have peace in their lives. Obviously, that peace was shattered on Sunday morning, but it is a hope and a prayer that we have, not just for our kids, but for him, every child across Pennsylvania, that they live in a society that's free and peaceful, where they are protected and they are watched over by God. We join together in prayer every week. Some weeks are better than others. Some weeks are marked by happy moments. Some weeks are marked by scary moments or difficult moments. But no matter what it is that in the week that is concluded, we turn to the children in our lives, in our own homes, and we turn to the people around us, and we wish them a week of shalom, a week of peace, a week of wholeness, completeness, and satisfaction. And we recognize that we can find shalom even in the midst of challenge, even in the midst of difficult times. So we're going to join together in the priestly blessings. We turn to the people around us, and our tradition here is to rise, to look for people. If you're sitting by yourself, feel free to go over to somebody and give them a Shabbat Shalom. Dad, you join us up here. Put your arms around them.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. We join together. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God's face be lifted towards you, and may God be merciful toward you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasim lecha shalom.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon. Yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon.
God grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken yehi
Ken
ratzon.
yehi ratzon. Shabbat shalom.
May be seated. As we turn to our prayer for healing, as we think of the people in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being. And if you'd like to include someone in this prayer this Shabbat, I'd like to invite you to rise in your places and to recite the names or share the names of the people you are praying for when I come to you. At Kol HaCholim and all those who are ill, we join together a prayer for healing.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, page 29. I invite those in mourning or marking a yard site to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bialma divera kirute viamlich malchute v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulamei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei V'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha brihu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imru. Amen. Please rise as we turn to the Baruch page 39.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
May be seated. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavir ben yom uvein laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv haravi.
Amen. Page 40.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, והם נגע יומם ולילה, והבטחת ממנו לעולמים. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך.
ויאמר משה דבר בני ישראל.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, top of page 44.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele malchutcha ra'uvanecha bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי בית אדוני את יעקב למיר חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us again to life. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45.
Let's join together. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. When I lay down at night, when I rest my head, oh God, watch over me. And when the morning comes, we thank Adonai and pray for peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu ושמור צאתנו בואנו לחיים ושלום יתעבר עולם ופרוס לנו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 46, please rise.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וידבר משה את מועדי אדוני אל בני ישראל יתקדע ויתקדש שמי רבה ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב בימרו אמן יהי שמרה במבורך לעולם ולעולם היה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו ואלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בימה במהרו
Amen. We turn ahead to page 306. We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, following the directions for Passover evening and Shabbat, page 306.
Min hametzar karatia anani bamerchavia. From a narrow place, I call out to you, God. God, answer me. As we are still in Passover, imagining ourselves as if we ourselves were freed from Egypt, from our narrow places, we continue to pray for that for ourselves and for the world. And it's also an eye towards the commemoration, Yom HaShoah commemoration, which is coming up on Wednesday night, which was definitely a time of narrowness. And we prayed, and God, we hope, answers us. Min ha-mitzar karatia anani bamerchavia. Min ha-mitzar karatia anani bamerchavia. Shma kolenu Adonai Eloheinu av harachaman rachem aleinu. Min hamitzar karatia.
We continue with Kaddish Shalem.
יתקרא ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימנכמחותי בחייכון ובמכון ובחייתו בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך. לעולם ולעולמיה יתברך. יפרח וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתעטר ויצלח ויצלח שמי קודשא בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צאצאנו ואבותינו זכר ישראל קדם אבותינו וישמעי ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמעי וחמלין וכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Amen. Please rise for the Kiddush. I want to invite kids to join me up here in the front. Grab a grape juice. Savri Maranan Rabbanan Rabotai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher bachar banu mikol am V'romemanu mikol lashon V'kideshanu b'mitzvotav V'atiten lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava Shabbatot limnucha, u'moadim lesimcha, chagim uzmanim lesason, et yom ha-shabbat hazeh, ve'et yom chag hamatzot hazeh, zman cherutenu b'yava mikra kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat u'moadei kodshecha, b'yava uvratzon, b'simcha uv'sason, Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat V'Yisrael V'Hazmanim. Chaim.
L'chaim.
Thank you, guys. So before we turn to Aleinu, let's turn to page 63 in the Sidurim. I'll take those. Thank you. As we concluded the Seder on the second night of Pesach, go back to your mom, we began the counting of the Omer, 49 days, taking us from Passover, from the story of the Exodus, to Shavuot, to the story of the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. And in ancient times, the Omer was a harvest offering that our ancestors who were farmers brought, asking God for a good grain harvest. But since then, it's taken on spiritual significance for us. Gives us something to look forward to, that even though we were freed from slavery in Egypt, we recognize that the redemption was not complete, that it's an ongoing process. And the next step was learning how to live purposefully in this life through the covenant with God at Mount Sinai. And we count up to it, getting ready to receive the Torah each year. And last night we counted 5, so you can figure out what comes next. Let's turn to page 63, and we'll join together at the bottom of the page in reciting the bracha, the blessing for the counting of the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. We turn to the next page and we say, Hayom Shisha Yamim LaOmer. Today is the 6th day of the counting of the Omer. Let's turn to Aleinu, page 55.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושבי קרוב בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו עינון, מלכנו אפס ולהטו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום מהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינון. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
May be seated. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. This week we observe the yortzites of Abraham Sharoni, Adam Matthew Hirsch, Alex Polsky, Alan Stern, Andrew Fox, Beverly Spiegler, Carlo Michel, Charles Hall, Charles Levinson, Edward Moore, Alyssa Joy Barman, Esther Kaufman, Ethel Berkowitz, Fanny Garten, Fanny Epstein, Florence Green, Gertrude Polly Polyakov Pressman, Helen Lapping, Henry Zucker, Herbert Diamond, Herman Meiselman, Ilsa Meyer, Irene Kosov, Joan Slade, Christiana Ruff, Leah Fine, Louis Carr, Mark Francis, Max Powell, Michael Rushvarg, Mildred Thaler, Miriam Mary Greenman, Paul Fixman, Sander Bach, Sarah Cohen, Sarah Thaler, Saul Jaffa, Victor Schwartz, and Wilhelmina Newman-Mackler. We also extend condolences to congregants who've suffered losses within the past several weeks. We extend condolences to Dion Sands on the passing of her mother, Cynthia Romero, to Joanna Lindenbaum on the passing of her mother, Rachel Lindenbaum, to Sharon Hockfield on the passing of her brother, Nathan Rose, to Ann Abel on the passing of her husband, Bob Abel, and to Joel Albaum on the passing of his wife, Maxine Albaum. Page 58, I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen, Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulameo Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran v'alma v'imru amen yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. May be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I call on Tom Bach.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much for the lovely service, Rabbi Cantor. We have a number of announcements, so we're going to limit the thank yous a little more. Is that all right? Thank you to everyone who joined Passover Seder. It was truly a special evening. Your presence, warmth, and participation helped create a meaningful and memorable celebration. All right. Our annual meeting will take place on Sunday, May 4th at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary. This is an important gathering and is a chance for our community to come together, reflect on the past year, and look ahead to the future of our congregation. We encourage all members to attend, share in the updates, lend your voice to the vision of our temple, and vote. You don't have to vote for me. I'm up for election. Just please come and vote and listen to kind of where we are as a shul. Minyan, we need your attendance for Minyan. When we do an appeal, people start coming for a bit, and it tails off. Lately, we've struggled to get enough participants for our daily minyan. Please help us continue this vital tradition by attending when you can. As a reminder, afternoon, evening times are 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Saturday, and 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. Morning minyan is Sunday at 9 and Thursday at 8 a.m. On April 23rd, we will gather for a meaningful Yom HaShoah community commemoration. We are honored to welcome guest speaker Judy LaPietra from the Stan Greenspan Holocaust and Social Justice Education Center, who will offer a thought-provoking exploration of the history and significance of the term genocide. Minyan will follow at the conclusion of the program in the chapel. Join our lovely Rabbi Woke for a special davening boot camp focused on Mincha and Maariv. This 3-week series starts on May 14th at 6 p.m. in the chapel, followed by the evening minyan. If you see the minyan, just come to the minyan. This is a great opportunity to deepen your understanding of daily prayer. Lastly, join us for a fun and insightful look at the Jewish humor and comedy in America with Marshall Arn. We'll explore why so many comedians are Jewish, the roots of Jewish humor, and its impact on entertainment. This is a 4-part series and meets May 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th after 7 p.m. minyan. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Tom mentioned the Yom HaShoah commemoration coming up this Wednesday, and the period after Passover, besides being Sfirat HaOmer, is marked by a number of contemporary holidays on the Jewish calendar that both mourn and celebrate some of the moments in Jewish history that took place in the 20th century. Yom HaShoah, which is the Holocaust Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, and Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day. And these newer holidays, really, as I said, kind of tell the story or mark the story of Jews of the last century, and very much are events that we are connected to and feel their effects in the world and in our Jewish lives and lives today. So I encourage you to come to the community commemorations and celebrations for all of those holidays. It's one of the things that I really appreciate about the Charlotte Jewish community, that we have kind of made the choice and made the decision to mark these holidays together. And all of them have communal commemorations here for Yom HaShoah in Lerner Hall for Yom HaZikaron, and then Yom HaAtzmaut celebration outside on Shalom Park. Always a lot of fun and great Israeli food. So come join us. Let's turn back to page 5 as we conclude with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet,
Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lachem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lachem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. See you bright and early tomorrow.